Good morning. My name is Shweta. I am from Computer Department. Today we discuss about the memory and the history of the computer. The secondary memory. The primary memory has limited storage capacity and it is either volatile, that is RAM, or read-only memory, that is ROM. Thus, a computer system needs auxiliary secondary memory as a permanent storage data or instructions for further use. The secondary memory is non-volatile and has a larger storage capacity than the primary memory. It is slower and cheaper than the main memory, that is RAM, but it cannot be erased and accessed directly by the CPU. The CPU can't access the secondary memory directly. CPU access the secondary memory with the help of primary memory. The content of secondary memory need to be first come to the primary memory, or we can say that the main memory, for the CPU to access the data. Examples of secondary memory are hard disk drive, CD, DVD, memory card, etc. Now come to the computer history. In 1822, the father of computer, Charles Babbage, began the developing what would be the first mechanical computer, and then in 1833 he actually designed an analytical engine which was a general purpose computer. It contained an ALU. The ALU stand for Arithmetical Logical Unit, some basic flowcharts, principles and the concept of integrated memory. Then more than a century later, the history of computer, we got our first electronic computer for general purpose. It was an ENIAC, which stand for electronically numerical integrated and computer. The inventor of this computer was John and J. Presper Eckert, and with the times the technology developed and the computer got very small in size and the processing got faster. We got our first laptop in 1981 and it was introduced by Adam and Epson. The computer generations, there are basically 5 generations of the computer. The first generations, the time period of the first generation is from 1940 to 1955, which was when machine language was developed for the use of computer. They use vacuum tubes for the circuitry. For the purpose of memory, they use magnetic drums. Thus, machine was completely large and expensive. They were mostly reclaimed, can be as used as a batch operating system and punch card as output and input device. Magnetic tape and paper tape were implemented, and in the second generation the time period is 1957 to 1963. In second generation, COBOL and Fortran language was developed, which was also a machine language and assembly language and programming language. Here they advanced from vacuum tubes and transistors. This made the computer smaller, faster and more energy efficient, and the advance from binary to assembly language. The third generations, the hallmark of this period is 1964 to 1971, which was developed for the integrated circuit. A single integrated circuit is made up of many transistors which increase the power of computer while simultaneously lowering its cost. These computers were quicker, smaller, more reliable and less expensive than their predecessors. High-level programming language such as COBOL, Fortran, Pascal, etc. were invented. In fourth generation, the invention of the microprocessor brought along the fourth generation. Therefore, the time period of the fourth generations was 1971 to 1980. C, C++ were the programming language utilized in this section. This was when we started producing computer for home use. In the fifth generation, these computers have been utilized since 1980 and continue to be used now. This is the present and the future of the world. The defining aspect of this generation is artificial intelligence. The use of parallel processing and superconductors are making this a reality and provide a lot of scope for the future. The fifth generation contain an ULSI, that is stand for ultra large scale integrated technology. They are the most recent and sophisticated computers. C++, Java, .NET, Python and many more programming language are used nowadays. Thank you.